Hey everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here today again with Hip Kits, and I'm sharing a layout with you that I made using the February Hip Kits. I think I might have one more layout to share with you using February, but otherwise the March kit's on its way to me. So my next video might actually have March in it. Which this is a good push for me to get stuff on my YouTube channels using the Hip Kit stuff. So I'm kind of excited with that because this is like my third or fourth video in not very long. So it's kind of fun. Anyway, I really wanted to challenge myself to not use pattern paper because that's usually my go-to supply. And I really like this ephemera pack. I thought there's lots of fun different shapes and things in there. So I really wanted to challenge myself to use as much of this ephemera pack as I could on my layout. I kind of had these photos lying around. These are like from 2011, I think, that I've had them printed for quite a while. Just fun ones of my daughter. We did like this fundraiser for this daycare at the school where we did like a kind of like a family fun night, and it was a dance, and we had a photo booth, and I made these props, I guess, this little mustache, so my daughter wanted to try them out. So I've had these lying around, and I think they're cute photos, but I just didn't have the right kind of paper to go with it. But in this case, I kind of like the colors in this ephemera pack work with her top, so we're just going to go with that. So I'm just grabbing different things from the ephemera pack, and I'm kind of layering them together as best I can. Right now I'm just trying to get things kind of where I want them before I stick everything down. And it's naturally just worked itself into a bit of a kind of like a rainbow across the page. You can see I kind of have pink all clumped together, and then yellow, and then I have kind of like pink, I guess, again with the floral. And then along on the top row, and then along the bottom I have kind of like the teal and the mint kind of blue color, with some more of the natural like the black and everything. So I'm just going to stick things down. I kind of like how things are working out. In total, this layout took me 29 minutes to make, which is quite fast, I think. Really, there's a couple reasons, I guess, that it took so least amount of time. That's not the right way of saying that, but normally for me, I would say it's like I'm like an hour and a half, 2 hours per page. And I think, number one, limiting myself to what I could use. So just sticking with my ephemera pack and not digging through everything else I have. That obviously helped limit the amount of time I was spending doing my project. So that's kind of a big plus. Secondarily, I think having my photos already pre-printed is kind of a big sign, because like for me, most of the time I'm printing photos to match the paper that I'm using. So I don't know what, for me that takes like at least a half an hour sorting through my photos on my computer and then setting them to my Canon Selfie and printing them off, and sometimes I want to resize them. So in this case I had no choice. They were already sized to the size they were, and they were already printed, so that helped immensely, I think, kind of get things rolling quicker. And I really love this neutral background paper. So I mean, normally a lot of people use white cardstock nowadays, but I really like this wood grain. So I think in a case like this is like one of those papers I would probably buy like 5 sheets of and use over and over again, because I just love pattern papers like this, where it's like a neutral, and it's not white. Because a lot of the time I think people get stuck kind of in the neutral background and it's always white, which is totally fine. But a nice wood grain is always kind of a nice, and it's kind of more pretty, if that's the right term. So I really love this paper by Crate Paper. It's from the Oasis collection. It's really fun, and this is my last sheet of it, and I'm a little sad about that because it is that pretty. But I'll tell you right now, I'm going to a crop and in the next week or so to teach, and if that store, which is a really great store called My Stamps and More, it's Kelly and Mike out in Nova Scotia, Canada, they'll be there, and if they have this paper, I'm going to buy like 4 more sheets of it because I will use it. So that's my little shout out to Kelly and Mike. They're really awesome people, and there's a whole lot of awesome people in this industry, but they're just 2 of them. Also, I want to say, because I know my daughter's friend Sarah watches these videos, I don't know why she does, but she told me that she was over here a few weeks ago for Addison's birthday party and that she watches them. So I want to say hi to Sarah. If she's actually watching, I want to say hi to her. And, you know, I think it's great when kids kind of watch crafty YouTube stuff. I know my daughter likes to watch cake decorating videos on YouTube. It's kind of fun. It's better than the stuff my boys watch, which is like Minecraft or some sort of Clash Royale game on their iPod that they play. Just crazy stuff. But anyways, hi Sarah, if you're watching. So as you can see, I'm just kind of stucking down embellishments that go along with the colors in the layout. So I started with the pink, so I'm adding pink kind of embellishments on top of the pink, and then blue on top of the blue, etc. And I really want to work through my ephemera pack and my chipboard pack for my embellishing. I really wanted to use those gold puffy hearts you see there in the bottom right corner. I kind of think they're super fun, but I just couldn't make it work. And actually, as I am sitting here talking to you, I have an idea for them. I'm not sure how that will work, if I'm going to do it or not, but they're just super fun. I think maybe they're too big or too shiny. I can't decide which. I really like them, but they're just a little too something. So we'll see. We'll see if I end up using them. But what I do love are these Chamel buttons. I really like the wood button with the epoxy in the center. Super fun and chunky, but not super chunky, so really easy to use and not, and sticky. They're not like you get stuff sometimes and they're sticky, but not really. Kind of like chipboard. I always feel like I have to add more adhesive to the back of the chipboard, and you'll see I end up adding adhesive to the back of the chipboard that I use on the page. And we're just adding these buttons here to the centers of my tags because I really hate a naked center. And because there's no twine in this kit, I'm going to use these in place of that to kind of stick those down and fill that space up. And yeah, here I am adding some adhesive to the back of the chipboard because in my experience, as much as manufacturer might try, once I go through my layouts, if they're not in an album, everything's fallen off. Chipboard especially is the worst, I think, for me. Foam stickers and stuff stick pretty well, but yeah, chipboard adds some adhesive behind. So I really like how this one turned out. Pretty quick one, and pretty easy. I think this would be a great kind of thing to bring to a crop where you have like an embellishment pack and some paper and a couple photos. You could easily pull off a layout like this really, really quick. And yeah, that's kind of it for me. I like the little kind of grid design across the page. That made things move along quickly as well. And really easy when a kit company puts it all together for you. You don't really even have to think. So that's it for me. Have yourselves a